This might just be the biggest surprise of 2025. Ho ho ho, and welcome back to my 2 cents, everyone. Today I'm going to be giving you my 2 cents on the Silent Night Deadly Night remake with a festive background, because I'm probably not going to be putting out any other video before Christmas. Now, I haven't seen the original Silent Night Deadly Night, but I've seen enough clips of it to just know everything that happens in the movie, and have a pretty good idea of what I was walking into. And honestly, I thought this was just going to be some other basic slasher with a killer that was dressed as Santa Claus. And the only reason it would be superior to the original was because the quality would be better and the kills would be gorier. But to my surprise, the movie had a lot more to offer than that. Starting off with the characters as always, Rowan Campbell plays our titular Santa killer, Billy Chapman. And just like the original film, Billy was a relatively normal kid at first, until one night he goes with his parents to see his grandfather at the nursing home, who tells Billy to always be good because Santa's always watching, and bad boys get punished by Santa. Then a man dressed as Santa follows them home after witnessing his grandfather die, and unalives both of Billy's parents right in front of him. And after the trauma of that event, Billy believed that every year for the 25 days leading up to Christmas that he had to punish those that had been naughty. And again, although I haven't seen the original, from what I've seen, Rowan Campbell is definitely the superior Billy actor. No disrespect to the original actor, but Rowan really captures Billy's creepy and awkward personality while actually making him likable. Weird that a crazy guy that dresses up as Santa Claus and kills people can be likable, but you'd have to watch the movie to get it. He has much more of a personality, and although he is definitely still the silent type like in the original, he actually talks like a human and not like a mindless drone. They do make some interesting changes to Billy, but I think that these changes actually make Billy a better character overall, including one big change that I think the 10 ultra fans of the original might not like, but I think these were great and necessary changes to make this remake really stand out and actually surpass the original. Not like that was hard to do anyway. Another thing I actually did like that at first I thought was kind of weird was giving Billy a voice in his head named Charlie. Charlie, who is played by Mark Axon, is like Billy's version of Venom. He's less of a separate personality or voice in his head and more like an all-seeing entity of sorts that just so happens to know who needs to be punished. And the way that Charlie attaches to Billy is definitely weird and more fantastical than what I was expecting, but I still think it's a cool addition to Billy's character. And on top of being Billy's dark passenger, Charlie is almost like a father figure to Billy. He's still an asshole, but there are scenes where Charlie does show that he actually does kind of care about Billy. He's good at helping him get out of some bad situations, and although he doesn't really approve of it, he does tell him the right things to say to Pam to better his relationship with her. Speaking of Pam, she's played by actress Ruby Modine. She's of course Billy's love interest and has her own little dark side. She's not a killer, she just has anger issues. She helps her dad run this cute little Christmas shop and occasionally gets into fights with kids. Don't worry, they deserved it. The only problem is that she has a crazy and abusive ex-boyfriend who just so happens to also be a cop. Think Michael Afton from FNAF 2, but more creepy. Other than that, she's just a nice and funny person who gives Billy something to care about. I know that sounds like there isn't much to her character, but I'd say that if she had more screen time, I would have said she would have been tied for Billy as my favorite character in the movie. And I really like all the characters in this movie, because usually a lot of the characters you'll meet throughout this movie in any other slasher movie would have been just thrown aside, not given much character development, and just would have been killed off probably in like the first or second act of the movie. And you would never remember what their names were or what they did or any of that. But the writer and director actually took the time to make you, even if it's only a little bit, care about these characters, even the side characters. Now the story goes that one night, Billy and his parents went to go visit his grandfather at the nursing home. As I said, his grandfather tells him to always be good, Santa's watching, he punishes all the naughty kids, and then he dies, right in front of him. And after that horrific moment, a man follows their car home and eventually kills both of his parents in front of him. But not before his mom gets a good kick to the neck with her heels and causes the killer to bleed out. After that day, Billy became a drifter, going from town to town, killing people that he thought were naughty, of course, dressed as Santa, until he meets this pretty girl named Pam and can't help but want to get to know her. Because after years and years of killing people, eventually you gotta settle down. His dark passenger Charlie says that this is a really bad idea and reminds Billy of what they do and warns him that bad things will happen if he does not kill. So now Billy has to keep his dark side a secret from Pam and discovers this town is stranger than the others he's been to. Now, the first half of this movie is very deceiving, and I think that is on purpose. Because the first half makes you think this is going to be maybe a half decent slasher movie that you can put on during the holidays if you ran out of all the classics like Black Christmas. The romance between Billy and Pam is really good, and you do root for them, but the movie makes you think that's all you're really going to get out of this. Just some good kills and a good romance story. With an ending that eventually will cause the relationship to sour because she'll find out what Billy does, and then credits roll. But like I said, halfway through this story, they switch up the story from the original and they completely flip the narrative on its head. I'm going to put a quick little spoiler warning right here for a minute, so skip to this time code if you don't want to get spoiled for Silent Night Deadly Night. So the big change they made is instead of making Billy believe he's punishing people that are bad, they make Billy the good guy who actually is killing bad people and can only kill people who deserve to die. They show this by having Billy follow this seemingly nice lady that Charlie says must be punished now. But Billy just thinks she's a nice old lady with a bit of an attitude problem. And it turns out she's a leader of Nazis in the town. Yeah, you heard me right, Nazis. So basically, she was evil incarnate. So now that Billy knows this, he basically tells Charlie it's time to go for my kill streak. And with no guns or armor and just his axe, Billy kills everyone inside the building. And that was the moment that I knew this remake was not playing around. And that scene is definitely my that's money moment. The only thing I wish they did a little different with the story is make the ending a little less abrupt. I like what they did with the ending, and it made me actually want to see more of these characters. But you don't really get time to process everything that happens, and it happens so quick. It's like they had an ending in mind, but they didn't know how to fill in the time to make you really sit with what happened and let the audience really internalize what just happened. Other than that, I love this story and the way that they deceive you with the first half by making you think it's incredibly basic and then shocking you with the second half. Very well done. Now, considering the same people that made the Terrifier movies helped make this movie, you already knew there was going to be some great kills. I just kind of wish they added more gore to the majority of the kills in the movie. But there are still some very gory kills in this movie. I think if I had to give my Blood Money award to anybody, I think it would have to go to the bitch on the four-wheeler. Punish. I know the antler kill is a classic, but I do love me a good decapitation. Overall, this was a very pleasant slasher surprise that I think will become one of those movies that I'll watch every year around this time of year to get me in the Christmas spirit. Now, Mike P. Nelson, can we please get a sequel? If you're a fan of the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, slasher movies, or if you just want a good horror Christmas movie this year, I would highly recommend you check out Silent Night, Deadly Night at a theater near you if you can find one, because this movie was definitely worth the ticket. And that's my review of the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, of course, like the video, and of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my future videos, including the very special video I have planned for the end of the year. In case I don't get a video out before Christmas, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. If you celebrate, of course. Shimo wishes you a Merry Christmas. Kiryu wishes you a Merry Christmas. And don't worry, I got a few videos planned before the end of the year that I'm hoping to release. And if not, you'll get them early next year. As always, leave me your 2 cents on the Silent Night Deadly Night remake in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon.